one way to welcome abundance, this is the first of the 7, is to be realistic about the steps you want to take. So be realistic about what's achievable this week. Let me boil that down for you. Let's say your big abundance dream right now is, okay, I want to have £1 million or $1 million or €1 million so that I can help my mother out and really take the pressure off her. And, I could see that my family were okay. And I could also kind of let go of this job that I don't want to do because I want to write this book. And I'm not getting any time because between the family and between the job and between my mother, I'm exhausted. So the money's going to solve all of that for me. That may or may not be true. I mean, the money will certainly help, don't get me wrong. But there are a couple of things to look at in that. The first thing that comes up for me is the level of stress that you're running because of all the masters that you're serving. So you're worried about your mother and tapping into how she's feeling and all of her struggles, and then you're trying to take care of your family over here. Then you're doing a job that you really don't want to do, but because it's feeding these other things, you're doing it anyway, and then you're neglecting the part of you that has something you want to express, has something you want to bring out, which is the book. So the very first thing to do is to look at you and go, okay, what can I achieve this week that will make me feel more abundant? And the first step might be, I just need an hour to myself this week. I just need an hour where none of them can reach me, where I can just come back to me and just breathe a little bit. And you might go, Lee, it's a way bigger problem than that. No, I've got to make all this happen. Well, trust me, if your energy is going like that when you're trying to make the big goal happen, you have to realize, oh, hang on a second, I can't build this in a week, and I can't build this from this state. So take an hour to sit down and reverse engineer your goal. Maybe your goal isn't very achievable right now because you haven't put steps in place as to how you're going to manifest this money that's going to solve all of these issues. But equally, you don't know how much you are alleviating your mother's suffering just by being present with her in her life. And this kind of leads me to a little bit of a segue. We have to be careful when manifesting around wanting to take other people's money or abundance issues away, because that can sometimes cloud what we're able to bring to ourselves. So, for example, if your mother is very against having her experience transform, which some people are at certain stages of our life, there are certain situations that we get in as a soul that are really there for our growth. Even if from the outside it looks hard, there's something that we're aligning with that's maintaining that there. So if you place all your focus on her rather than yourself, if you go, okay, I'm going to do this for my mother, that's going to run you into some trouble, because then you're not dealing with your abundance energy, you're dealing with your mother's abundance energy. So this is quite an important segue. Maybe this is number 2, but let's just re-clarify that. When trying to manifest abundance for yourself, it is better to manifest it for you and trust and know that you will then be generous and benevolent to the people in your life that you love and you want to give to, versus thinking of those people when you're trying to manifest money. Okay, I really want to bring $1 million to myself because then my mom can get that much of that money. Because you put your mom in there, if she doesn't belong there, if she doesn't want $100,000 or whatever you're going to give her, she's going to interfere with that. So just leave her off to the side and know that you're manifesting for yourself, and that you, as the architect of what you bring to you, if it's money, will then be able to give it to her. So just to backtrack, small achievable steps. You might have one big goal that might be so acute in your body because it's going to save you from all these hard, awful, stressful feelings. So the first thing we have to do is go, how do we let you have less stress and take less responsibility? Because that's not an abundant state that you're in right now. That's a slavery state to everybody else and everybody else's needs. And truth be told, you could be dead in a week and you wouldn't have manifested that million. So let's focus, because any of us can die any day, right? And I always try and remember that whenever I get too far into the future. And it's helped me 1,000 times to come back to, I have today, and today is guaranteed. I'm seeing the world, so I'm alive. I try not to future project a year or 2 or 3 out in any way that is to try and help me escape today. So, what could you do this week that's going to make you feel abundant? What could you do today that's going to give you that feeling of abundance? If you can't make big outer changes happen overnight, you might even just go and sit with a journal and jot down some ideas about how you could make it happen over a 1 or 2 year phase.